We watched you grow up on on YouTube and your father as well. Where did he surprise you, or when did he surprise you?
Not believing in, I knew that my father can do anything. I can ask for anything and Baba will do it for me.
What a baby. I have never seen a child who, he's on cue, right? He would be like, if he had to smile, he'll smile. If he had to cry, he would cry. If he had to sleep, he would sleep. If he had to wake up, he would wake up. And we were like, how is this happening?
Usually men don't discuss emotions as much and they don't show it as much. With my mum, she shows her affection so much, but with my dad, I may see him after a month and we'll just shake hands.
My son is 16 and if Kumud travels for work, he will just, मेरे बेटे की शक्ल दिखा दो. मेरे बेटे का वीडियो कॉल नहीं उठा रहा. मैंने कहा, he's a teenager, he's not going to pick up.
What is love? How do you feel when you're in love with anybody? Like even if it was with a partner, you have to have your own experience. So as much as I may define it, it'll be different for everybody.
Do you think of one time when there was a single papa disaster? You're like, Papa, yaar, how did you do this, Papa? You got to end the year with something feel good. And when some of these players are involved, I can tell you this is going to be a really fun watch. But are you going to learn something about your own self or life or our country? Well, let's find out. Hi guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Single Papa is happening. Okay, so I had the privilege of being on stage with you all when we actually brought the trailer to the audiences and the media. So I want to start with that. I've done a bunch of these trailer launches, but I know that each of you was so beautifully invested to take this to the audience. So I want to start with that. Like, what did it feel like for people to finally see this from your side? And why was it so dear to you? Because I felt it.
I think first thing is happiness, because for any project in general, when you kind of put things together and you work hard on it, you want to kind of bring it in the best way possible, make sure the audiences know that this is out there to watch. But with this one, it's also special because it's been a long time, not just for me and us, but I think just as even as a viewer in the OTT space, to see something that's so lighthearted, so family friendly that you can watch with everybody and is easily palatable. And at the same time, the infant being there kind of makes it even more special. Not just for us as people who got a chance to work with him, but also as an audience. I think we've always liked to see how a family kind of brings up a kid. And again, it's also dealing with a man-child whose parents think that he's a kid and he's brought a kid into their life and the chaos that ensues. So I think all of those kind of put together, there was these emotions that were heightened to see that the way Netflix also put together this so-called baby shower for a trailer launch.
It was so
And
It was all the way.
It was so cute.
for all of us to dress up and make it very celebratory in a way, and even for the media to kind of have those activities.
Yeah.
So I think all of this put together was a special feeling.
Yeah, it was lovely. I do want to ask you what it's like to shoot with an infant, because I'm like, what are the challenges? Please explain. I can't imagine.
This is Manoj Bhai's question to answer, but he's not here. But he loves to say this. But we though loved him. He was 4 months old when we started shooting Harmony.
Yeah, tiny.
But what a baby. I have never seen a child who, he's on cue, right? He would be like, if he had to smile, he'll smile. If he had to cry, he would cry. If he had to sleep, he would sleep. If he had to wake up, he would wake up. And we were like, how is this happening? And he
No
would,
delays.
Nothing.
No hold up.
nothing. So yeah, it was amazing. He was the most amazing baby, literally, to shoot with.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
He was very professional.
Very professional.
This is really crazy. I can't believe this actually. I'm like, there could be challenges, but
I mean, we had a very weird silicone baby. That we
Wasn't that silicone baby heavier than Harmony?
a lot, yeah.
No?
जिसके साथ हम shoot करने वाले थे, if you know the child is like tired or whatever, but no, he was fine, he was great. Rarely ever
We picked up the silicone
did we,
baby, yeah.
yeah. And I think that I saw 2 episodes, I must say. And I know that as an audience, I've never even thought about it. And I feel bad about that I've never thought about how important it is for men to feel like their parents. Because I feel like as a woman, I've just, my mind hasn't gone there.
Sure.
So I wanted to ask you, what is it really like? Like, there's so much spoken about women and parenthood and motherhood. And there isn't that much about men and fatherhood. Do you think that deserves light of day right now, Kunal?
I mean, it's a yes and no kind of a scenario, right? I feel like usually men don't discuss emotions as much and they don't show it as much. It's very simple. Like it goes unnoticed. Like yesterday we were talking and I said, you know, like with my mom, she shows her affection so much, but with my dad, I may see him after a month and we'll just shake hands. It's not to say that we don't love each other.
Correct.
And then like sometimes it'll be so obvious that we'll hug, but men generally hugging it out is not that common. So for it to kind of, is there a need to discuss it? I'm not, I mean, I don't think so, but it's nice to kind of have it once in a while through a show, even if it is like that, because even within the show, it deals with, you'll see an episode ahead, there is this lovely scene between Manoj sir and myself, which is pretty much how men show their emotion, and like how in the trailer also she says, why do you guys have problems with intimacy? But I think that's just like how we are built. But it's nice to kind of see it and realize that, oh, we were not talking about this. In fact, what was also interesting for me is to find out through this show that if a single man wants to adopt, it's not as easy for him as it is for a woman, perhaps. And the challenges that one faces with that. So it's also a nice insight into the system that we may talk about and forget about the next day, which is about like how does one go about adopting a child in this country.
Yeah, and I've heard it's very difficult. I've heard that it takes years. And I think that somehow, because now it is in a show, it's going to be like, at least iski baat to hogi, and I feel like that's a beautiful thing to do. I do want to speak about fatherhood, and I'm going to ask the women first to weigh in. You've had the privilege of seeing Kumud, father. I want to ask you, as someone who was a bystander in this change in his life, what did it do to him as a person?
I think Kumud always said that, you know, he was thinking that the moment the baby was born, it would be some magical feeling that would just happen, and he's a father. And he said he was crying and he was emotional, but he said I had an out-of-body experience. It was almost like I was going through the motions of rona chahiye. बच्चे के लिए, you know, he was like, इसमें रोना चाहिए तो मैं रो रहा हूँ, अच्छा बच्चा मेरा है तो ठीक है, you know, like he was just going, he says it was a very surreal experience for him.
Wow.
And he said he was very dedicated. From the moment Kabir was born, he was doing everything, more than me. I think for the first 2 years, Kumud raised him physically much more than I did, like much more involved and doing everything. But he said, I think when the baby started responding and recognizing him, is when he sort of said, oh, and then the emotion and the floodgates. But now, my son is 16, and if Kumud travels for work, he will just, मेरे बेटे की शक्ल दिखा दो, मेरे बेटे का वीडियो, वो वीडियो कॉल नहीं उठा रहा. मैंने कहा, he's a teenager, he's not going to pick up your video call. But he's like, अच्छा उसकी शक्ल दिखा दो. So I'm saying that love is so beautiful between the two of them. And it's really beautiful to witness that sort of that relationship between the two of them. And he's a wonderful father, like a wonderful father.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
Prajakta, we've had the privilege of watching your father. And he's literally like, we watched you grow up on on YouTube and your father as well. Where did he surprise you, or when did he surprise you?
I'm constantly surprised by that man, honestly. I've grown up in awe of both Mama and Baba. Baba especially, because I think, especially, but I mean that I grew up not dreaming of, or not believing in, I knew that my father can do anything. I can ask for anything and Baba will do it for me.
Yes.
And whatever delusions he managed to keep me in, they never kind of left me, even today. Like even today, if there's anything like kharoch se aake GST tak.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
I will pick the phone up on Baba and he will fix life for me. So for me, he's
lovely.
Everything that I need. He will always, my relationship with him has always been that I don't believe that he's Superman, because only Henry is.
Correct.
But I know that he's more.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Kunal, what was it like for you?
You know, I think it's one of those emotions that you have to go through. It's so personal. Like when you say, I think that's why everybody falls in love, because like, what is love? How do you feel when you're in love with anybody? Like even if it was with a partner, you have to have your own experience. So as much as I may define it, it'll be different for everybody. Somebody may instantly feel like they're in love and this is the relationship. Some people take time, and it's for each their own, and some may be very hands-on and that's how they show love. Some may not be very hands-on, but doesn't mean that they don't, it's
Love
their
as much,
language of
yeah.
love, which you discover when you live it yourself. And also because it's so personal, it just cannot be explained or defined. You have to do it for yourself, and I guess that's why everybody falls in love, gets married, has kids, to kind of know what it is like.
Sure, but I just saw this really crazy love story between you and baby Amul. And I have never seen you be this romantic on the screen with anybody. So I was wondering if you were drawing from, your own sort of crazy love that you are capable of.
And of course, I think there is just so much awe in a child's face, because it's just the most purest emotion. They're not clouding it with anything, right? If they're happy, they're going to be smiling. If they are
Scared.
sad or scared, they're just like, if they don't like you, they don't want to be in your lap, and they'll make it very evident. And I just feel that honesty, that earnestness, that just childlike wonder and innocence, it just draws me. And I think with everybody, like, it's just like, you may talk however in life, but if you put a 3-month-old or a 4-month-old, your language will change. You suddenly start talking like, I don't know why that comes from.
Yeah,
Like, it's just
we
like
talk, yeah.
muscle memory just kind of
Yeah.
triggers,
Correct.
and you're like, this is how I'm supposed to talk.
Correct.
And I'm guessing the child is like, why are you talking
Yeah.
to me like this? I don't understand anything anyway.
Correct.
But it's one of those things. And I've always, like, even growing up, I've been very fond of kids. I've been around kids when I was growing up. I pretty much was like with my cousin sisters also. I used to be more like a parent to them than I was a brother. So I think even when I was born, it was just like, for me also, I don't know if I just knew that I'm in love with this person, this thing, and I will do anything for this person. But it's still, that emotion also kind of goes through a lot. You feel like, did I feel so strongly yesterday? Because today I feel even stronger.
Yeah.
And now suddenly, like a parent, like, you understand your own parents.
Yeah, yeah.
When they say that you guys grow up too soon and you'll always be the same and everything. Like, we're already going through her pictures and we're like, oh my God, she's already changed so much. How can we go back, rewind this time and find her like how she was? Even with Hami, like, now already how he is in the show, he's completely changed. He's walking
course,
now.
yeah.
And I feel like that's the only lovely thing about photographs and shows or movies, is that you can capture that. And like, I can go back to see how I was at when I was 7 years old. I can go and see Hamera Hi Pyar Ki, and that's what cinema does.
Absolutely. Tell me the time, each of you, when your single papa, whenever they were single, not around with mama. Mama was not there. Mama had to go. She was doing more important things and papa had to take care of you. Do you think of one time when there was a single papa disaster? You're like, Papa, yaar, how did you do this, Papa?
My father had only disasters. Yeah, like, my father's stories are amazing. But I mean, I wasn't there, but my mother was there to witness things that he was doing in the kitchen which he would never do.
Correct.
So one such story is that he said कि बिजली चली गई है या something, मुझे शेव के लिए पानी गर्म करना है. So she said, ठीक है, तुम चूल्हे पे चढ़ा दो. And then she was doing something. And then he sort of very gently said, Seema. So she's saying, क्या हुआ? कहते इधर आओ जरा देखो इस बर्तन में डिज़ाइन बन रहे हैं. So she said, डिज़ाइन बन रहे हैं? And then she realized कि वो प्लास्टिक का तसला था which he had put on the stove और वो पिघल रहा था नीचे से. And he has not realized कि he has put a plastic tasla on a stove.
Correct.
And it's melting. तो he's saying, इधर देखो इसमें डिज़ाइन बन रहे हैं. She's like, take it off. What are you doing?
So cute.
So my father has myriad stories. There's a full episode dedicated to my father's
Hilarious.
episodes. Yeah, very funny.
Hilarious. My mom's father once thought it was coconut oil, but it was shampoo.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That was
nice.
fun.
That's it.
Do you remember, Kunal, do you have any of
My
your-
dad's pretty much been a super dad. I feel like sometimes he would do things that better than my mother, and like, I would never say it because then my mom would get upset, because even he could cook, he could fix things. He was just like, I would wake up one day and I say, there is storytelling competition and how do I make it special? I don't know. And he would make me a puppet. Like, he would stitch it, he would make it, he would make masks, because he did that. So when he was in the National School of
Theatre,
Drama,
yeah,
he did
that's what
theatre,
I'm saying.
So he knew mask making and all of those things. So even for fancy dress,
Yeah.
it wasn't like he took me to a dress
Shop.
wala shop and said ki ye. He would
make it.
outfits
Yeah.
for me. And so I mean, with all of those things, he's pretty much, I don't think he's ever had a goof up. In fact, he's kind of fixed problems. Not saying that my mom did everything that a mother does,
Yeah.
but it's just that my dad could do all of that. And I think that also shaped me in in a nicer way, because I feel we were all independent in the truest sense. We all could cook, we all could clean. Like we would not just cook on Sundays together, but we would clean on Sundays together, and we would have like, okay, you are doing jhadu, you are doing pocha, you are doing bartan, and that's how we would go. We'd make a fun thing out of it, and it just kind of never seemed like a chore because of that. And I think the energy that maybe this fun side that people see of mine is pretty much both my parents. They're actually both goofballs who are very shy generally, but when we're just on our own, they're both hilarious people, and I think I get that from them.
How nice. I've never actually known about your parents, and I'm so privileged to find this out.
Actually, he said fancy dress, so I'll just say that. And I think both of them should share the blame on this, my parents, not just Baba.
Okay.
There's this friend of mine, Saili. It was her birthday party. The theme was princess. I went as a brinjal.
Oh, God.
Because my parents got me a brinjal.
Colored.
No.
They got it.
They got me
costume?
a brinjal costume with a
Oh, ha.
yeah,
With the dantal
stem,
on top, yeah.
And because I'm stupid as I have worn it and I have gone and everybody's like, I'm Ariel. I am Rapunzel. I said, I'm Brinjal.
I'm Brinjal.
No, you
And
were
then
like,
they-
I'm Bangan Raja, bro.
I'm Bangan. And then they did it again because I have photo proof which I'd forgotten about.
Correct.
A couple years later, I made it through my school to be वो competition होता था कुमार कला केंद्र के in SSC. तो वहाँ पे my teachers enrolled me for fancy dress and then they made me a tomato.
What is going
So
on?
I think they should both
love food,
Finish
share.
it with sabzi or
Yeah,
something.
so I think I was the puppet that they were making. I was their guinea pig because they were both young when they met, young when they had me, and then now suddenly there's this one person
इसके
to
साथ
play-
खेलो.
खेलो.
हाँ.
So I think this time पे not just Papa yaar, I was like Mama, Baba, both. I said, what are you all doing? Why have you done
टमाटर
this
बना
to
दिया.
और
टमाटर,
बैंगन.
बैंगन.
बना दिया.
There was no reason to go to a birthday party as a bangan, dude.
I agree with
Yeah.
you. I agree with you. But I must say that as much as all of these conversations have been a lot of fun for you while you're promoting this show, I know that the show stands for so much more. So that's why I'm going to tell people to go and watch it. And if there's something that you'd like to actually leave the audience with, it'll be really lovely. So
I think it's, by the time you watch this, this is already on Netflix.
Yeah.
Watch it and make up your own mind, because
Yeah.
I mean, we love it for different reasons, but I think you should definitely give it a shot. And it's one of those things that you can watch with children, grandparents.
Yeah.
The whole family can sit around and watch this together.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much, bro.
Just to fill me, just to fill me.